What is going on, Sports Game Vision world? You are now tuned into the sounds of the No Face Sports Show. It's your host, Hank, at Sports Game Vision. Just tapping in for quickly, briefly. Don't want to hold you long. Know it's a nice weekend for everybody, nice vacation, a nice break for a lot of people. Either it's a day or the whole week, whatever it is. I'm hoping that you had a great Christmas day. Hoping that you have a great holiday coming up with the New Year's, whether you're working or not. Hope you got a little chance to have a little breather. And, of course, on this show, we talk sports and other topics here and there, but mainly it's usually revolved around sports. Um, and we're going to tap in, as you can see here, into the graph that we got here. We got our guy, Charles Barkley. We got Victor Wembanyama. And we're going to come in and come on out. We're not going to spend a lot of time. Just wanted to jump into the pod and get some things off my chest I was seeing here. Before I get started, if you're in the building, make sure you like the channel, like the video, heart it, join, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps the channel grow. Of course, watch the video and comment. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. Keep it respectful, but beyond that, let's enjoy our conversation about sports. So we're going to jump right on in here at Sports Game Vision. And we're going to talk about our first topic. And that is Charles Barkley says the NFL is getting greedy. And we're going to read a small little excerpt of what he said here. He said, it's tremendous because you got 5 games. Barkley said of the Christmas NBA slate on Thursday, December 25th during ESPN's Inside the NBA. There's nobody else playing, The NFL got greedy and started adding Christmas games. We used to have the day to ourselves, but them pigs at the NFL always want to hog every day of the week now. And he got some truth in that statement. Charles, he speaks his mind. He says what he wants to say, how he feels. But if you really look at the landscape of what's going on in sports as far as the NFL is concerned, they're on Friday night lights. They're on Saturday with the college guys. Like I just said, Friday with the high school guys. And they're on Thursday now, which is usually high school and college as well. So they're flooding the gates with a whole bunch of games, eating up the whole bunch of pie. But it is business. And they're going to do what they got to do to make money for themselves and the brand, these teams and these owners. Of course, they got to pay these players. And obviously, NFL being big in America, and, there's a lot of fans that want to see football all the time. For me, I want to see basketball. Obviously, the NBA to me is the start of the season on Christmas. It always been that way for a while. It's been more exciting now that they brought the in-season tournament or the NBA Cup. I think games have been more important, more valued as it starts. I know there's a little, people are complaining about it a little bit, but I feel like the guys are playing hard. And now with the Christmas game starting, it's just enjoyable to see that, it's the beginning of the season for everybody. They're going to play hard. They're kind of seeing where their rosters are at. And, the trade deadline is coming right around the corner. So, again, the beginning of the season. But for this NFL slate, I did watch a little bit of the game. I had a rooting interest in this one with the Lions, hoping they can get into the playoffs. They lost that game, obviously, and it kind of sucks. But beyond that, I probably wouldn't be watching the NFL. It would only be the NBA. And as I look at the games, slate of games, you had Cleveland, New York, San Antonio, OKC, Dallas versus Golden State, Houston and Los Angeles. You also had Minnesota and Denver, and those are really good games, especially the Cleveland and New York one and the last one, which was Minnesota and Denver. All of them were star-studded. I believe the NBA won on this day, but overall, I think that the NFL. Well, let's look at their games too and pull it up here. They had the Cowboys and Reds Commanders. I'm about to go old school on that. They had the Broncos and the Chiefs, and they had the Lions and the Vikings. And yeah, they were pretty good games considering, but I just feel like this is the NBA's day, and for me, it's mostly the NBA. But of course, with the Lions playing, I had to check them out and see what was going to happen, and hopefully they can pull it out next week. Have a great season, but they get a winning season if they win the next game, and just like we seen in Pittsburgh, he got a winning season for how many seasons in a row now? Ever since he's been a coach there in Pittsburgh, as in he beat the Lions. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section about what Charles Barkley had to say. You think the NFL is greedy? It's definitely competition with more of these streaming platforms and with them wanting to pay the money. They're definitely going to put more games on more often. And then, they want to put a jab at the NBA no matter what. I'm pretty sure the commissioners are probably um, friendly, but it's business at the end of the day. And we're going to move on to topics here. Like I said, I wasn't going to stay too long in the building here at Sports Game Vision. We put these No Face Sports shows pretty often. So come and join, subscribe to the channel, and like and everything. But we're going to talk about this next team here. They played. Oh man, a new young group of players, a young team looking like they can do something. It's refreshing for the league as we see some of these older teams, older players starting to phase out. You got Wembanyama right here who's hungry and wants to win. And that's what they're doing this year. They're 2 games under the OKC Thunder here. And I've done a video on them, saying like, man, looks like they're going to run this back fairly easy. But looks like this team right here, the San Antonio Spurs, might have their number. They beat them 3 times this year. And San Antonio looks like they're going to get to the playoffs this year and hopefully make some noise. I don't know what seeding and where they'll play against each other in the playoffs, but I don't think OKC really wants to see them. It's a rivalry, and all teams are coming for OKC anyway right now. But San Antonio specifically, that Wembanyama and Chet don't necessarily get along, so it's just added interest for him to try to beat OKC. So seeing him in a 7-game series in the playoffs is going to be very interesting. And I would have to give it with OKC at first because they are the champs. You know how I am on this channel. You got to beat the champs to become the champs, right? So I'm gonna, definitely say that they'll probably win the series. But Wembanyama and those guys, they have a great shot to win that series. Be a very great series to watch in a best of 7. So I think that they're up and coming and they want it. And what do you think about it? You think that the Spurs are a legitimate contender? We got the Houston Rockets, and then we've got the Denver Nuggets. The Lakers have kind of fallen off a little bit over there in the West. I did have them kind of being that team that probably can cause some problems, but right now it looks like it's going to be Houston and Denver, and then it looks like San Antonio is going to also be in that bunch. How many games they're going to win, and can they knock off the defending champions and stop them from being the first repeat champion in the NBA in quite some time now since the Golden State Warriors? So that'll be very interesting to see if either those 3 or 4 teams we say can block them from getting out the West, or in the East, which I feel like the Pistons and the Knicks are very real contenders. And I think after that, maybe you got Boston, Philly maybe, and Cleveland have to play themselves back into it. They should be at the top of the East right now, contending for getting out of the Eastern Conference. But we'll see what happens. We still got a lot of the season left. Trades, cuts, all type of stuff can happen. And I think it'll be great to see what's going to happen there. But let me know in the comment section what you think about the San Antonio Spurs. Can they win the conference, win the division, or just put OKC out of their championship heaven when the playoffs come around? Now we're going to move on to the next topic here. We're almost done. We've basically talked about both of the topics that I have here on this picture here at the No Face Sports Show. But we're going to tackle a couple more here. And the first thing we're going to do is talk about WWE. You know, I'm a WWE, a wrestling fan. And I thought this was interesting. This picture here is in the holiday spirit, a gift for the new year. We're one day removed from Christmas, but we're going to look here and see what it says. You can only pick two. I'm going to give two and then two that I would like to see as well. So the first one they got is Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble. They got LA Knight winning the Money in the Bank. They got Roman Reigns winning the world title. They got Drew McIntyre winning the undisputed title. They've got Logan Paul winning the world title. They've got Sheamus winning the Intercontinental Championship. They've got Cody winning, defending the the undisputed WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber. And they've got Gunther doesn't retire AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, and/or Brock Lesnar in 2026. So it's a lot of them that, great storylines that could be with all of those. But I'm going to go with LA Knight wins the Money in the Bank. And I'm also going to go with Sheamus winning the Intercontinental Championship. So both of them are veterans in their own right. But Sheamus is definitely in the WWE. We'd love to see him finish his story, as I know he's probably winding down the time before he hangs up the boots. And to get that Grand Slam Championship off his back as well, win the Intercontinental Championship, that would be awesome. As far as the other choice, LA Knight, I believe he's a star. He's good on the mic. He can hold himself in the ring. And he's got the overall presence and look. That's why he does the Slim Jim commercials and anything else that they call him for, because he's really a star. They just aren't pushing him, giving him that push next year, and also giving him a good storylines to help push him further in his championship run would also be good, because you can give him something stale and it's going to turn the fans against him, so to speak. So it'd be nice to see him get that belt, at least get it. I don't know what he's going to do, if he's going to sign a new contract. I'm not sure what the contractual obligations are, but get as many titles and championships if he decides to eventually leave. But he's definitely over with the fans still, even after all this time. So winning that Money in the Bank and giving the fans what they want would be awesome. The other two that I think that I would like to see that's not on this list, would love to see Montez Ford get his shot at a singles run and possibly a title or something next year. And also B-Fab and Meechin, either they get the belts for the tag team, or they get singles runs and they can go after any of those women's singles championships. So that's what I got here for this wrestling part, guys. Again, give me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you think. But we got one last topic here. I'm pushing it over here. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Christmas. Obviously, we got Christmas going on, and we're going to talk about Christmas movies. First things first, Home Alone. Then you got Elf. Then you got Nightmare on Elm. Sorry, I was about to say Nightmare on Elm Street, as you heard. Nightmare Before Christmas, Die Hard, Christmas Story, Dr. Seuss, The Grinch, It's a Wonderful Life, Home Alone 2, The Santa Claus, Christmas Vacation, Miracle on 34th Street, The Year Without a Santa Claus. And for me, I put them together. It's going to be Home Alone 1 and 2. Both of them great movies. I know people arguably have one over the other. I love both of them. Thought they were a good duo. Wish they would have had a third one with Macaulay during that time. I think they could have made a great movie with him coming back. But there's rumors that they might make a new one with him. He's up for it. I know the script has to be right. I think the director said he's wouldn't mind doing it, and they're gonna bring the Crooks back, Joe Pesci and Chris. I can't think of his last name, but either way, they're saying that they're up for it, and of course, bring a young cast with them, probably some family members. It'll be a nice blast from the past with a new storyline for the modern day. So, but I do have a movie that I really wish was on this list. I love it every year when it comes out, and it's definitely a Christmas movie, and that's Friday After Next. Christmas in the Hood definitely should be on that list. It made 2 stars out of that movie with Mike Epps and Terry Crews. They went on to stardom after this movie. Definitely in my Christmas, variety throughout the year. Of course, I got a ton of Christmas movies that come on. They got newer ones that are not blockbusters or been in a theater like that, but this is the one that I went to the theater and see, and I always thought it was a pretty good part of the series of Fridays. And also, they are supposedly making a new one, but this Christmas one was awesome. And Mike Epps is in it, Ice Cube's in it, John Witherspoon's pops, rest in peace, is in it, and of course Ricky Smiley. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, go check that out. But that definitely should have been on the list. But guys, that's all I got. Please support the channel when you get a chance to. Check out some of the more of the No Face Sports shows and some of the videos that we put up there. And Merry Christmas to you, belated. For some of you, Happy New Year. That's coming up next. Enjoy, be safe. We will be back. Again, let me know what you think about all these topics in the comment section, and I will see you again. Peace.